Good morning, YouTube. Welcome back to the Retro Reseller channel, where today we're going to be taking a look at my first FBA haul using ScoutIQ and my Yo-Yo ring scanner. Diving right in, I'm going to show you my trigger settings for ScoutIQ. As you'll see here, the minimum E-score for my triggers gets lower as we go down the list, but I do leave the max E-score the same just in case. Next up, you can see the sales rank for each trigger as well as where I'm comparing price. For FBA, I compare to the lowest price, but for used, I compare to the highest. Here it says 15, but that's how they label it on this screen when you choose highest in the settings. The reason I don't compare to the lowest used price is that these orders can sometimes have shipping added to that cost, and they aren't eligible for prime shipping. We all know Amazon made their name on fast shipping, and you can charge a higher price if your item is going to arrive in 2 days than you can if it won't show up for 2 weeks. Last up for the triggers, we're going to take a look at my profit settings. First up, I price at 10% below Amazon, and I always compare to the buy box, because if Amazon has a better price, they'll always get the sale, and the same is true for the buy box. As for profit, you'll see that for books with a low sales rank and high E-score, I'm willing to accept as low as $3.50 in profit, because the most I pay for a book right now is around $1.50, so making $2 potentially as soon as the item is listed is definitely worth it for me. Now that we've covered my trigger settings, let's get into the books I'm shipping into Amazon. These books are the ones I bought that had no stickers on them and were ready to send out as soon as I got them home. This first stack is really large books on the bottom, getting smaller as we go up to the pile. Next to those, we've got some standard size hardbacks, topped off with some smaller paperbacks and a few smaller oddly shaped hardbacks. Towards the top of the pile, though, I want to draw your attention to these 3 Tuttle Twins guidebooks. They were right next to each other on the shelf at Goodwill, and each one was green when I scanned them. Once I got them home and looked into it, I realized that they had solid value. The red one in the center, Logical Fallacies, is going to make me over $25 profit by itself, and the other 2 are worth between $5 and $15 in profit each. I'll definitely be keeping an eye out for them moving forward. Now, as I said, I'm going to use these books for my first shipment because they're ready to go, but not every book was that simple. For example, this pile that I have on a piece of packing tissue next to my packing supplies all have stickers that I'm going to have to remove with the hairdryer I have next to them. It's a bit of a pain, but it comes with the territory, and the profit is worth the trouble. Besides, they weren't the real bummers from my first trips. Those would be this pile of books right here. Most of these have solid profit margins, some worth $20 or more, but they are all either restricted or require approval. The restricted ones with a high enough profit margin I'm going to try to send into restricted books, and I'll split the profit with them 50-50. It's not ideal, but if I can't sell them, it's much better than nothing. Those with lower profits I'll list on eBay, and I might list some of the higher profits on eBay as well if they're selling for prices similar to what they sell for on Amazon. The rest I'm going to try to find a local shop that will give me store credit for them, and if that fails I'll probably end up donating them to the Salvation Army. There is one exception in this pile of restricted books, and that's this book of sheet music for drums. I am able to sell it used, and there is profit to make, but I am a little hesitant because it comes with 2 CDs. Both of the CDs are still in the book, but because I'm not ungated in CDs and DVDs yet, I think I'm going to wait and sell it after I get ungated, just to be safe. And that's my first haul. I spent around $130 total on all the books that I bought, and even if we ignore the books I'm restricted from selling and the ones I haven't removed the stickers from yet, I still expect to more than double my money on these first 39 books that I send in. All told, once I've removed the stickers and sent the books into restricted books, I expect to profit somewhere between $300 and $500 on the low end, and that's an extremely satisfying return on a $130 investment. Factoring in the time it took me to source, list, and ship, I'm making around $25 an hour, and that's just starting out. As I get faster and more discerning with my buys, that number is just going to keep going up. Well everyone, I think that about does it for today's video. My next video will be on Tuesday, where I'll show you some of the more interesting books I find over the weekend sourcing. Moving forward, that's probably going to be the plan for my weekly videos while I find my rhythm with sourcing, shipping, and listing on eBay, but once that's done, we'll get more into the things I've learned along the way. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you'll consider subscribing and following me on the rest of my journey. For now, I'll see you in the next one.